Giannis Antetokounmpo. From stateless dreamer to playoff legend in the modest neighborhood of Sepolia, Athens, the world was unaware that a legend was growing. Giannis Antetokounmpo, born on December 6, 1994, lived in the shadows of legality. His parents, Nigerian immigrants, had no papers and barely any money, and neither did their sons. Giannis was technically stateless, not Greek, not Nigerian. Yet what he lacked in paperwork, he made up for in resilience, humility, and an unrelenting will to succeed. Giannis and his brothers spent their childhood selling trinkets on the streets to help put food on the table. Their parents, Charles and Veronica, worked tirelessly, and the family often went without basic necessities. Basketball was more than a game, it was an escape. It was a small, cracked court in their neighborhood that introduced Giannis to a new dream, one that would carry him across oceans. He joined Philithikos, a small club in the Greek second division, where coaches were immediately struck by his height, coordination, and determination. Word spread quickly. By 2013, Giannis was drafted 15th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks, a long, skinny teenager with raw talent and limitless upside. At first, his NBA journey was anything but glamorous. He didn't speak English fluently. He was homesick. He had to wire money back home to help his family survive. And he was unknown, both to fans and to himself. But day by day, Giannis trained, studied, and transformed his body and mind. By 2017, he was an NBA All-Star and Most Improved Player. And by 2019, he was the MVP of the league. But every great NBA career is measured by the playoffs. Early heartbreak and lessons learned. Giannis the playoffs in 2015 for the first time, but his Bucks were no match for a deeper, more experienced Chicago Bulls team. Each postseason brought new lessons and frustrations. In 2019, the Bucks reached the Eastern Conference Finals and took a 2-0 lead against the Toronto Raptors, only to lose 4 straight games as Kawhi Leonard outdueled them. Critics said Giannis wasn't ready. In 2020, the Bucks dominated the regular season again, and Giannis won his second MVP. But in the bubble playoffs, Milwaukee was stunned in the second round by the Miami Heat. Analysts questioned his shooting, his ability to close games, and even whether he could ever win a title. The 2021 redemption arc. Giannis didn't flinch. He kept working. He stayed loyal to Milwaukee and signed a supermax contract, vowing to bring a championship to the city that believed in him. Then came the 2021 playoffs, a run that would define his legacy. The Bucks swept the Heat in the first round, redemption. Then came a brutal 7-game war against the Brooklyn Nets, featuring Kevin Durant's historic performances. Giannis battled through, delivering 40 points in a Game 7 overtime victory on the road. In the Eastern Conference Finals, Giannis suffered a gruesome hyperextended knee in Game 4. Many assumed his season was over. But miraculously, he returned for the finals against the Phoenix Suns. There, he delivered one of the greatest playoff performances in NBA history. Game 2 42 points, 12 rebounds. Game 3 41 points, 13 rebounds. Game 6 50 points, 14 rebounds, 5 blocks, sealing Milwaukee's first NBA championship in 50 years. He was named Finals MVP, and the image of Giannis sobbing while holding the trophy instantly became iconic. From street vendor to NBA champion, he had achieved what once seemed impossible. A playoff mainstay and leader. Since that historic run, Giannis has remained a dominant playoff force. In 2022, despite his heroics, the Bucks were edged out in 7 games by the Celtics, even after he averaged 31.7 points, 14.2 rebounds, and 6.8 assists per game. In 2023, a back injury in the first round derailed the Bucks' chances against the Heat. Giannis returned late in the series and apologized to fans, calling the season, not a failure, but a step toward success, a quote that resonated globally. In the 2024 and 2025 postseasons, Giannis led the Bucks back into contention. He averaged over 30 points per game both years and was named NBA Cup MVP in 2025 after leading Milwaukie to the league's inaugural in-season tournament title. Though they fell short of a championship, his leadership, consistency, and impact remained undeniable. Legacy off the court. Through all the highs and lows, Giannis has remained deeply grounded in his values. In 2022, he and his brothers launched the Giannis Antetokounmpo Family Foundation to support underserved youth in Greece, Nigeria, and the US. The foundation funds education, housing, and sports programs, honoring their father's legacy of kindness and hard work. In 2024, Giannis married Mariah Riddlespringer, his longtime partner, and together they continue to raise a growing family. Their home is a sanctuary filled with laughter, learning, and love. Giannis Antetokounmpo's journey is far from over. Still in his prime, Giannis is no longer the skinny kid selling DVDs on the streets of Athens. He is a two-time MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, a Finals MVP, part of Milwaukie. But more than that, he is proof that greatness is not about where you start, it's about what you're willing to endure, what you choose to believe, and how deeply you care for the people around you. His playoff battles, injuries, championships, and heartbreaks have sculpted not just a superstar, but a symbol of hope. In a league of giants, Giannis stands tallest, not just for what he's achieved, but for how he's done it.